Hello friends, and welcome to my class by mail video. This one will cover the sort of a slimline card, but it ends up in total dimensions being a normal 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 to fit in a standard A2 envelope. But the base of the card is more like a little slimline card. So let's look at what we've got in our kit. So you'll have a card base that I already scored for you because the dimensions are 5 1/2 by 6, if I got that right. Let me just double check that. Yes. So 5 1/2 by 6, and I wanted to score it at 3 inches. And because 5 1/2 by 6 is almost, seems almost square, I just thought it would be easier if I scored it for you. And as I've told you before, sometimes the scoring doesn't work perfectly, so just make sure you do your best to line up your edges and crease that card really well. In fact, I think I'll crease it on the front as well. So that's our base card, and it's like a slimline card. Some of the slimline cards, which are really popular right now, are longer to fit in like a normal business type envelope. I forget what that number of that envelope is, but this is a little bit of a mini slimline. But then once we finish decorating it, it ends up fitting in a normal A2 envelope. So you also have 2 pieces of designer series paper. This was from the Celebration paper pack, a piece of ribbon, and then a whole bunch of die cut pieces. Didn't realize after I designed this card how much die cutting would be involved. So this did take a little while to get all these pieces cut, but you will have a circle, a sentiment piece, and a little decorative piece to go behind your sentiment. Then you have 2 flowers. I love these. Well, let me finish going through the pieces because these ones are all from the same set. And 2 center pieces and 2 sets of leaves. And these are from this set. And this one is called Pierced Blooms Dies. Now, I did not get the bundle, so I did not get the stamps that go with this set. I really look at stuff with really a careful eye, and because the majority of these dies work on their own without the stamps, and I love all of the detail in these dies with all of those piercings and kind of stitched look to them, even on the leaves, that just die cutting right from cardstock is going to give you beautiful images. This bow is really pretty as well. There's this piece for a sentiment, and just lots more leaves. I like that for this particular leaf that I'm using in this card, there's actually 2 dies for it, so you can die cut those at the same time. The same with these center flower pieces. So the center piece comes from this. Excuse me. So I was able to get 2 at a time. That was really helpful. And then there's other various leaves and other floral images. So this was a really cool set. I like it. I love the piercing and stitching in it. So I think it's really cool. And I wanted you to see it by making this card. So let's go ahead. So these are all the pieces that are going to be on the top of this circle. So let's put those aside and let's build this part. Now, I designed this, or this has been made to overlap so that we can put the ribbon behind this before we place it on the card. So that's a trick for not having to have ribbon run through the inside of your card and somehow tying it on the front, or however you're going to do it. You can wrap it around the back. So we're going to just overlap these 2 pieces, and because this is the larger one, I'm going to overlap with this. And I think I'm going to turn it that way because I want to see that little bit of of, I think that's Rococo Rose. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and I'm going to just use my liquid adhesive. If I can get it started. I didn't have it sitting upside down. So just a little bit just on this edge. I might have gone a little down a little too far. And then I'm going to just place it over top. And because it's the liquid, you've got a little bit of time to maneuver that around if you need to. So if you don't have it quite straight, and you can use like this grid paper is a good way to make sure that you've got everything straight. And like I said, you've got a little bit of movement time with that liquid glue. All right, and then I'm gonna wrap this around the back before I put it onto my card. And I'm gonna use some double-sided adhesive for this purpose. So I just put a little bit of adhesive right at the two edges where this ribbon is gonna go around to the back. So just place it down on the front here like so, and wrap your ribbon around the back and let it tack right into that adhesive. Just don't pull it too hard because you don't want it to buckle your paper. Okay? And then we can go ahead and put adhesive over the whole panel now. Looks good. Maybe a little bit over here. And then place this down on the front of your card. Okay, and then you can stamp with whatever stamp word you have at home. So go ahead and you can do that. And then what I did for this piece was I glued this down flat, and you can use, let's see, I'll use glue dots for this. So find out which one is the front of this little stitched piece. This comes from the stitched rectangles. So it's this set right here. All of these rectangles, I'm sorry, let me pull this out so you can see it better. All of these come in one set. So all of these rectangles, and they're stitched, and then these ones as well. And I just really like this skinny one. I've used it a lot for this purpose, just a little interest really, just putting a little bit of something behind another image. Those glue dots are not very happy. Okay, so I'm just going to place this to the side here like so. Just sort of try and get it centered on that ribbon like that. And then it's nice and it's on there. And then once I stamp this, which I'm not going to do at this moment or in this video, but this is how I did this one. I just had that hello there, which is really cute. A happy birthday would be really nice too. And if you don't have word stamps, you know, you can use, if you have stickers, or you can also print something off the computer. So if you don't have a word stamp for that, you can do that. And then I'm going to put mounting tape, dimensionals behind it, so that it pops up on top, and that will go right there. Okay, and now the last part is to put together this circle panel that's going to sit up at the top of this card, and just, you know, it's a really neat look to have your card sitting on your table like that and having that popped up like so. All right, so what we're gonna do is, let's go ahead and put this together, and just be mindful to not have your leaves up above the top of this circle. Okay, so you want to kind of make sure, because this is going to be the dimensions of your envelope, and you want to make sure it's going to fit. So let's start by, I'm going to start by placing my largest one down first, and I think I'm going to just use the liquid adhesive for all of these pieces. It just works really well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and place this one right here. And before I put that last part down, I'll just get some adhesive on this leaf. A little bit on the front and then on the backs of the leaves. Sorry if that was out of the camera view. So I just put a tiny bit on the tip here at the front and then on the back. And then I'm just going to tuck this in. I think I'm going to come down a little lower and tuck it in right there just to make sure it's not going to be up at the top. And then you can press that down. And now all of that is on there. Add my center, the larger center, to this flower. I just love all the pieces. I know it's a lot to die cut all of them, but it sure is cute. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to this, add this flower center on here, and then I'm going to pop this one up. So I wanted to get the center on first before I pop it up. And let's see. And I also think I'm going to attach the leaf to this one, maybe right there, and then I'll pop up the whole piece together. So let's put a little bit of liquid adhesive here on the front of this piece that's going to attach to the flower. Let's go, I think I'll go right there, like so. Just hold that in place, and then I'm going to use dimensionals on the entire piece. And that will help keep those leaves in place too, because it's kind of it's a little bit of a delicate little piece with that thin stem. So I've shown you this before where I use up all my pieces on my sheet of dimensionals, all the edge pieces, and a lot of these dimensionals actually come from my paper pumpkin kits. So you know, they give you these adhesives in your paper pumpkin, and I usually have extras left over, so that's kind of a handy thing. So that's probably enough for that. And then I'm going to just pull the backings off, keep those out of the way, and then add this to the panel. And you can do it really any way. Maybe I'll go this way and have a little bit of the leaf this way, like so. And then the last thing, so remember we have that piece that I haven't done yet, and I think I might even put a lady I follow on YouTube. Does she call this I forget what some kind of like surgery when you want to go in and kind of fix something. And so I want to just place, oh, I didn't do that very well. There, that's more straight. It was just a little bit too wobbly for me, so I'm just pulling up some glue dots with my Take Your Pick tool. I love this tool. And just going in and doing some surgery there. So adding a piece of glue dot, if it'll come off my Take Your Pick tool, and it's not wanting to. This pack of glue dots is not very happy. Okay, hang on a second. Nope, it's not gonna work for me. So I will fix that later before I really destroy that piece. But yeah, it was just kind of, see, it's probably enough now that I tack that down. And once you put your dimensionals on this piece, that will also help hold it in place. But anyway, for now, that's going to be fine. Okay, so what you want to do with this card, you want it to fit in your envelope. So you want your final card dimensions to be 5.5 by 4.25. That's standard A2 size, and that'll fit in the envelope. So we're going to use a ruler. I'm going to place the bottom of it at 4¼ inches. Okay, so there's 4¼ the bottom of my card, and so I want this piece to not stick up past the end of my ruler. This is from, I used to work for a company that I've had this ruler for, I don't know, like 20 years. That's so funny. All right, so you're just wanting this piece to not go past the end of that. And basically that's the only trick, is to make sure that this is not going to go. So I'm going to just make a little mark on my card right here, or on my scrap paper, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the bottom of this circle piece. Okay, so put some, and you know, be generous with that adhesive because you want it to stay. And then I'm going to just make sure that it doesn't go up past. Oh, let's turn it this way a little bit so my leaves don't go up past that mark. So there's my mark right there. And now I know that this card will fit in a standard A2 envelope that is in your kit. So there you go. I hope you like that. That was the last of the videos for this class by mail. It's been really fun. I hope you enjoy these cards. It's just kind of a little different style, a little different design, and that's always fun to do something like that. And playing with these pierced bloom dies is really a lot of fun. They're super cute and really make a card very pretty. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.